back to the channel. I'm Moedotj and we are locked in. New TV show alert, Young Rock on NBC, the Peacock. Now, it's only right that I do this because growing up, I watched wrestling nonstop. And of course, Rock was one of my favorites. He was a go-to. But before we jump into this, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of this, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit the like button. It's 2021. Like, dislike, it doesn't matter. It's all engagement. Now, this new TV show about the young Rock is going to document him growing up from as a child to a teenager to him going to college. And from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a pretty good show. Now, you know me, I'm not going to hold you up. Let's jump right into it. This is Young Rock, episode 1, the recap. This TV show starts us off with Dwayne Johnson, not The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, running for president in 2032. Now, the reason that this whole thing is going to go document from when he's a child to him getting older is because people don't think that he can relate to what's going on in the regular life because, you know, he's been living this rich, pampered life. But this is the reason The Rock made this show, to show you, like, I didn't have it easy growing up. I had to work just like everybody else just to get where I am now. So it's going to take us all the way back to when he was a child, all the way up to college. During the interview, he's just trying to break it down to everybody. Like, he's still a normal person. He still has to do everything that normal people do. And even when he goes in his refrigerator, he still does the, if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Just regular person. Just Dwayne Johnson, that's all he is. The Rock's whole life growing up, he's always been around the wrestling circuit. His dad, Rocky, the Soul Man Johnson, and then his grandfather on his mom's side is Peter Maivia. So it's in his bloodline, in his lineage, you know, it goes down, it's going through the bloodline, and he used to go watch his dad wrestle all the time. And to him, his dad was his idol. That was his hero. That's who he looked up to. Of course, with the fame that his father had, it brought along fans and everything. And in this scene, we see young Rock coming out, and the girl's like, oh, Rocky, can you sign my chest? And Dwayne Johnson's like, I'll do it. And his mom kind of stops him. Rocky, his father, doesn't sign her chest. He signs like her arm. He looks at a picture like, hey, man, get this out of here. But The Rock, he was experiencing all of this fame that was coming from his father as a child. So he grew up pretty much in the spotlight. Now, I said it seems like young Rock grew up in the spotlight, but it wasn't really that. He asked his dad, Dad, why is our car better than the place we stayed? Now, Rocky Johnson tells him this is called working the gimmick. It makes it look like we're living this lifestyle. So once we start making money, then we can start upgrading and we'll actually get a house that's better than our car. But that just means we'll get a better car. So he's working the gimmick and making it look, hey, boy, Rocky Johnson out there, they doing it big. Working the gimmick. We see that now. You look on Instagram, everybody living these flashy lifestyles, but Rocky Johnson had it. If you work hard enough, that gimmick that you're working, it's going to pay off in the end. You just got to work hard. But before we get into anything else, we have to go to Miss Rocky Johnson's mother's house. We got to make a quick stop by. You know, got to see Grandma. The Rock growing up, he was around a lot of influential wrestlers. For him, it was different because his dad, if he had any ongoing nemesis within the wrestling world, he couldn't be seen out with them. But behind closed doors, all of them were a close-knit family. So we're going to give you a run through of all the people that The Rock was growing up around. They were kind of like uncles to him. First up, we got the Junkyard Dog. Next up, the Wild Samoans, The Rock's uncles. We can't forget about the Iron Sheik. Now, hey, he was a bad dude. I tell you that for real. Now, I know that because of my dad. Last but not least, Andre the Giant, the 8th wonder of the world. Now, Andre the Giant, he made wrestling possible for all the big people. Undertaker, Kane, The Big Show. It all stemmed from Andre the Giant. While they're at the house, The Rock wasn't just surrounded by his dad working the gimmick. Everyone was working the gimmick. So while they're there, Rocky Johnson said, forget that, we're going to play some cards. And you hear young Rock, I want to stay here, hang out with the boys. So for Rocky Johnson, seeing his son wanting to be around this environment, that was good because he's kind of molding his son, teaching his son the game and putting him around those that are actually living this life. While everyone's sitting around playing cards, you hear Young Rock say, I don't know why you guys are complaining about this. It's all fake. Now, one thing we know about wrestling, you do not use that F word. Andre the Giant comes over and picks him up and he holds him up and asks him, does this feel fake? Huh? Does it? No, because we know wrestling, you have to be a damn good athlete to even get in that ring. You have to have athleticism and you have to be skilled and talented. There's nothing fake about it. They may have a little plot or storyline, but you got to be able to take that. And Andre the Giant is letting Young Rock know, hey, we don't use that F word when it comes to wrestling, because me growing up watching it, it wasn't fake to me. That was real. Rocky Johnson promised Young Rock to get some ice cream after they played cards, but Andre the Giant has a tiki bar that he wants to invest in, so Rocky Johnson is going to go out with him and look at it, have a few drinks. So he has to promise Young Rock, we'll get ice cream in the morning for breakfast, promise? So his dad was going out trying to, follow business endeavors. Now, I don't want to assume anything, so we're going to wait till a couple more episodes to see what his father does, but he ended up going out to go get some drinks, and we got to get ice cream for breakfast. That doesn't sound too bad. The Rock said it best. His dad may have had flaws, but for him as a young boy, his dad was still his hero. And that's usually how it is. My dad's always going to be my hero. Even whatever flaws he had, he's still going to be my hero. Working a gimmick is how the Rock's family, they lived, and that's how they got along through life. So for him, he said working a gimmick actually got him into stealing. He says during this interview, he's going to be open. He's going to let people know, I'm just like everyone else. I grew up with the struggles that everyone else had, and I just overcame all of it, and I'm here today. Young Rock embraced living the gimmick. So what did he do? He went to go steal a few things. Now, I'm not encouraging or condoning stealing, but as a child, we all stole something, whether it was a little piece of candy or it was some clothes like Young Rock was doing. But Young Rock did pick out a fresh little outfit for the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, Young Rock clean. Got the Woody Woodpecker on there, the green jacket with the green Adidas, got the blue striped shirt. The reason he was stealing all this stuff is to play the gimmick, but now he's finally getting attention from girls because he looks like he's rich. Along with his dad being a wrestler. Oh, Rock, okay, Dwayne Johnson is rich, okay. Young Rock got girls interested in him now. He's talking to his best friend. He's telling him, hey, man, I got invited to a party tonight. Girls are looking at me. But the friend also says, why would you tell the girl your name is Thomas instead of Dwayne? Because the Young Rock says Dwayne isn't a cool name. But the only thing is he's bigger than everybody with a mustache. And his boy's telling him, hey, look, people think you're a cop, man. You're bigger than all of us. You got a full mustache. And Young Rock yells to the cafeteria, I am 15. But nobody believes that. Young Rock is living the gimmick, but he's riding the bus. And you can't look rich if you're riding the bus. When he gets home, he talks to his mom, hey, where's dad at with the car? Of course, Rocky Johnson, he's out working the wrestling circus. He's got to go out. He's got to try to make some money. So he has the car. Now, Rock tells his mom, I have $103 saved up. I can try to get us a car. And she's trying to explain to him, riding the bus isn't bad, but don't worry about this girl that you're trying to impress because none of that matters. Help us out with the groceries and, stuff around the house. But for Young Rock, he's into the girls. Girls are paying attention to him. I got to get me a car, but he only has $103 saved. What is he going to do with that? If you think things into existence, it will happen. While Rock was at the pizza place, this is where he worked at putting boxes together. This is how he saved up his $103. A homeless man hears him and says, hey, I got a car for sale. They go outside and the Rock looks at the car, looking at this Thunderbird like, I give you $1 for it. But the bum said, I heard you got 103. So they actually buy the car. Hey, Young Rock is rolling his style now. We got us a car. Step one. Now this car is torn down, but it starts up and it works. It has a radio in it, one channel. And inside's kind of bad. They pull up. Young Rock sees some girls. Hey, what's up, girls? And they looking at him like, ew. While they're driving, they're talking about hitting up this party tonight. We're going to go get some beers, but we don't have any ID. So we might have to travel to another little county. Turns out there's a man in the back, another homeless man named Waffle, and he gets up and they jump out the car like, what the hell? But he tells them, look, you guys are going over to the west side. I'm gonna roll with y'all. Plus, I hear y'all need somebody to buy you some liquor. So it looks like Young Rock just made a new friend named Waffle. They finally arrive to the party. Young Rock goes to the trunk because he has to get his clothes out. He has to switch back and forth between his good clothes that he stole and his regular clothes. When they open up the trunk, there's another homeless man back there. He sees Waffle. Oh, hey, Waffle. But Waffle sees the stolen clothes and he tells Young Rock, you remind me of me. You know, I used to fake it, you know, for girls and stuff that I was interested in. And what he tells Young Rock is, your family is the most important thing. Helping them out around the family, that's all you have is your family. Everyone, think back of all the girls you had a crush in, and for girls, think back about the guys you had a crush on in high school. 10 years later, where are they at? They're nowhere to be found. They're no relevance in your life, unless it was like your high school sweetheart. So he's trying to tell Young Rock, don't end up like me. Make sure your family is straight. Take care of your family first, and then worry about everyone else on the exterior of your life. Young Rock changes his mind. He goes and picks up his mom. So Waffle gave him some information. Waffle's riding with him. They pick up Mama Rock, and she's talking to him like, oh, this is your car? This is what you got for 103? Young Rock saying it's not much, but it's ours, you know? And when I get older, I'm going to be able to buy you a car. I'm going to buy you 7 different cars, one for each day of the week. And we know Mama Rock loves her red Cadillacs. So she was like, I'll just take 7 red cars. That's all I need. Now Young Rock is seeing exactly what our guy Waffle in the backseat was talking about. They drop off Mama Rock, and while they're riding to take Waffle wherever he's going, he tells Young Rock, I believe you're going to do that for your parents one day. You're going to get your mama all those cars. But all you have to do is make sure that you... Waffle ends up dying on Young Rock in the car. Young Rock leaves the car, calls the police, hey, y'all need to come pick this car up. There's a dead person in there. And Young Rock eventually grew up and, you know, gave his mom that red Cadillac. Because, you know, Mama Rock loves a red caddy. Now, Dwayne Johnson admits that he's never stopped working the gimmick. He's always worked the gimmick. But now he's learning how to work the gimmick in his favor. Most of the time he's just working the gimmick. But now he knows how to manipulate this gimmick to make it work for him to advance himself in life. Young Rock arrives to the U. Now, if you don't know about the U in the early 90s, you need to go back and watch a documentary on, because them boys were bad down there and they had the swag. They made the game what the game is now. But Young Rock gets down there and he didn't have any intentions on working this gimmick. But unfortunately for him, his dad, Rocky Johnson, showed up and started telling players, oh yeah, my son, he's a bad boy. He's going to be on the cover of Wheaties box. A Wheaties box? Now, his dad didn't work the gimmick saying his son is going to be on the Wheaties box, but Rock is like, what? He said, oh, okay, yeah, but it's going to be on the Wheaties in Asia, because he's not going to be on the Wheaties box in America, not right now, so he has to lie and say that it's going to be over in Asia. This way, no one will be able to find out about it, because internet wasn't that big back then either, so you wasn't going to know. Young Rock calls his dad. He's, Dad, what are you doing? You came to Miami and you didn't come to see me? And Rocky Johnson was like, no, it was a surprise. I went and I told your teammates that you're going to be this big guy on the Wheaties box to make you look good. But for Young Rock, he's like, now I have to live up to this, and I don't know if I'm prepared for it or not. This whole time, Rocky Johnson, he was delivering, you know, alcohol and beer for his company. But he's on the phone with his son, and he has to get back to work. But he's just trying to push his son further and further to be better than what he was. With all this on his mind, Young Rock figures out, in order for me to get this gimmick to work, I gotta work twice as hard. So what does he do? He goes out and he hits the bench press. Now the record within the locker room is 35. Young Rock gets over there, 36. He knocks it out. He beats the record. Young Rock, okay, now he's making a name for himself. The gimmick is starting to work for him. Now, Randall asks Dwayne, do you feel like it would have been easier to tell your teammates that your dad was lying about being on the Wheaties? And like I was saying earlier, his dad was his idol, his role model, his superhero. So for him, he's not going to make his dad look bad. If his dad says it's going to happen, then it's going to happen. So for Rock, he continued with the gimmick, and he just pushed himself harder and harder. There you go, episode 1 of Young Rock. He does say that he's going to go into more detail of when he was younger, high school, and college, and he's also going to give us Waffle's last name, because everyone wants to know, who was Waffle? We want to know who was Waffle that gave these encouraging words to Young Rock. But hey, thanks for watching, man. I'm Moedotj. We'll be back for episode 2 next week. Make sure y'all tag The Rock in this, because we want Rock to see this. You know what I'm saying? Try to get me up there. But thanks for watching. I'm Moedotj. If you like the content on the channel, hit the subscribe button. Definitely hit the like button. And I'll see you next week for Young Rock episode 2.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.